We'll take these first few moments and pull our wraps out and wrap ourselves so we can make sure that we are getting wrap results, okay? Because why sell wraps and not have any results, you know? And not have recent results. So I know some of you are cleansing, some of you are wrapping, some of you are actually doing both. But either way, this is how we get results, by using the products. I actually had my greens today too. I also had my ThermoFit, and I went to the gym because I'm about to, like Tia said on her thing, she's about to have this 30-day transformation. I'm about to have this 30-day transformation too. And I started last month. So I feel like I got a nice push to go ahead and make this month very successful. So if you need to lose some weight or you just want to be healthier, let's make May that month as well to, you know, get healthy, get the weight off, flatten our tummies, lose our mommy pudges, or if you ain't a mommy like me, just lose your pudge. Because, you know, some things just went down from college until now, and we just bless the Lord that we have wraps to fix them. Woo! I mean, this wrap is cold. Woo! Okay, and I'm also doing this on my Snap story. So let me turn the sound off of that because. Oof. And for those of you that may be new or you're not really familiar with what the wrap does, it tightens, tones, and firms and reduces the appearance of cellulite, okay? It's great when it's accompanied with other products if you want to lose weight. It does have like a detoxing effect to it as well, because what happens is the ingredients, they absorb into your skin, they filter through your bloodstream, and then they pull the fat out of your fat cells, and you flush them out as you drink water. And a lot of people think, okay, when you wrap, you're just getting rid of water weight, but you're actually getting rid of toxins. And then it's also smoothing out the skin. It's getting rid of, you know, stretch marks and dimples and all of that great stuff. So we bless the Lord for the wrap. Every time I wrap, I see results, like significant. I may not see it the first day, but I definitely see them by that third day. And I'm like, thank God for the wrap. Oh, I got some on my belt, but that's okay. Okay, so everybody should be wrapped or wrapping, or you're cleansing, or whatever you're doing. And we'll go ahead and get started. We have a Denyana. Are you here? Trying to look through all the names and see if I see her. Okay, I don't see her. If somebody else sees her and I'm just overlooking her, let me know. Shay, you look like you tired over there, girl. You ain't tired, is you? Okay, let me see where Denyana is. She might just be with her family. But she you're not feeling like, oh, okay. She actually got like 2,000 PBV in like 48 hours, which was crazy. And she had a goal just to reclaim her title. And she wanted to get the car bonus, which she did both of. And she was the top 2 as far as bringing in volume for the month of, I believe, March too, but for April as well. Keisha was number 1. And let me tell you something about that too. Keisha and Denyana were number 1 and number 2 for not only our team, but also for Irina's team. I'm I'm really curious to see if they were the top two for even Ronnie's downline too. Like overall, because they had like 3,000 plus PBV, which is amazing. So we are going to hear from Deanna whenever she gets on, and she's going to give us tips and all of that good stuff about how she signs her loyal customers. Also, what we're going to talk about, and T is here with me too, is focusing on the one. I think what happens sometimes is we sign up distributors, we get people on our team, and some people working and some people don't, or people don't work at the same speed. But I want you to look at the people that show up to your trainings and show up in the chats and show up and they check in with you. Those are the people that you want to work with. Now, some people may move slower than others, and that's okay. That's just kind of the pace that they're going at. And some people will just take off running. The one thing I want us to focus on is to focus on the one. Focus on the one, and it could be 5 for some people, but the one person who is actually trying to work this business with you. Because when I was sitting down today and I just was like, I was in my quiet time with God, and I was like, okay, God, so how should I attack this month? And he was like, only focus on the people that are working and work with those people. That doesn't mean you kick people out and say, okay, you're done. And you don't have to announce it or anything like that, but you just have to work with the people that you know are running and making this thing work. Like I could, off the top of my head, I know out of my personally enrolled people who are running and at what pace. So you want to make sure that you're focusing on that. Another thing that I wanted us to focus on this month too is, and Ronnie said this earlier, which was confirmation for me, was let's get back to rap parties. Let's have rap parties. Let's have rap parties. Let's have rap parties, especially for people who aren't strong on social media. Social media is a strong point for me. It is a strong point for some of the other veterans here. So if that's your lane, I'm not telling you to come out of your lane, you know. But for people that are trying to find their lane and they're like, okay, I tried social media, that didn't really work, had a party and that was okay. Let's focus on getting some more parties and getting in living rooms or having a party online. So a great way, going through your Facebook list or people that are potential loyal customers too. Hey, I know that you haven't ordered yet, but how about you do a party for me and I'll send you a free 3-day greens detox. And that's just three packets of greens that you send them. That's a good way to get the information back in your potential loyal customer's ear, get it in front of their audience, and you can sign more people. Another thing that's going to do is it might turn that potential loyal customer into a distributor, because then they're like, oh, all of these people around me actually want this product and are interested in it. Maybe I should consider doing this myself. Okay, so let's get into the zone of really connecting with people in May. Let's let May be the connection month. Let's get on our phones. Hold on, Deanna says she's trying to get in.
I'm here now, Jen. I got it.
Oh, okay. Hey, girl. So,
Hey.
and we'll go to you in just a second, Deanna. So let's try to focus on making that connection this month. You know, social media is great, but let's start actually, okay, hey girl, also sending those voice clips. The other day on the power hour that I did, we, what did we do? We were listening to some videos on YouTube of a young lady that was talking about how she signed distributors and customers. And one thing that she was using was voice clips. And she said that goes over well for her. Now, that was good for me because I don't really like to get on the phone with people too much. That's not really my thing. I'll do it. Don't get me wrong. But sending those voice clips makes it easy to be like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, say what I have to say, and then I can go back to what I was doing. So if you're like me, voice clips. If you're a connector naturally and you like talking to people, see if you can get them on the phone. See if you could, or just have a voice clip conversation. Another thing I like about the voice clips is that they can't pre-read your message. So, you know, some people will pre-read your message and then just not even open the message. And some people will open it and not respond. But we bind that in the name of Jesus. People are going to respond to our messages. But you could send that voice clip and people are naturally nosy, and they're going to be like, well, what did she say? And they're going to press play. Okay. So that's another way that we can connect with them. So let's focus on our strengths, whatever, if you're a veteran or even if you're a new person, if you're finding your strength in an area that, I don't remember her name. She had like pink reddish hair, but I went on YouTube and I Googled It Works. And I clicked on some videos that were talking about distributors and stuff. There's so many videos on there. I always like to listen to different videos from different people. And she was a Ruby signing 50 distributors a month in the summertime. So that says a lot about, what she was doing and her work ethic. And, but yeah, I like to hear different perspectives and different strategies from people because, sometimes you just have to switch it up and try something different. If you get burnt out on social media, you might have to start partying. If you get burnt out partying, you have to go back to social media. So you want to find a healthy balance in finding what works for you. Okay. So that is one thing that we want to focus on. How many people already have parties planned for this month? I see Kelly has a party plan. And if you don't, she has 4 parties planned. Excuse me. I didn't see the other hands. Who else has a party planned for this month? Angela. And I know some of you, I can't see your faces. So if you're raising your hand and I didn't call your name, it's not because, I'm ignoring you. I just can't see everybody on one screen. But that's good. So getting those parties and those rap sessions rocking and rolling. Okay. This business is continuously growing, like watching the promotions and seeing the triple diamonds promote and seeing the diamonds promote and seeing the rubies and seeing the executives and seeing, not even just our team, but other teams promote lets me know that this business is growing like a wildflower. So you guys are in a good space and it's a good month. It's going to be amazing. It's all going to be dependent, of course, on your work ethic and what it is that you do and how consistent you are. Okay. And another thing that I find when I'm talking to people that are Jessica Pearson, thank you, Portia. When I'm talking to people about, how they feel about their business and when I'm talking to them, especially my personally enrolled, how they feel about what's going on. And this is another thing too. This is sidebar, but make sure you reach out to your sponsor. When my personally enrolled people reach out to me, we talk, and sometimes they're like, hey, I don't feel comfortable putting this in the chat, and we'll talk outside of the chat. And that's where you can get that one-on-one time. Okay. But make sure you're reaching out to your sponsor and you're connecting with them at least once a week so they know what's going on with your life, with your business. They're like, y'all know I don't care about excuses because life is going to happen. But at least if I know, it's like, okay, kind of like, and make sure you mute your Zoom, guys. Somebody's unmuted. If as long as your sponsor knows what's going on, it's like, oh, okay. So I understand why I haven't seen her, why she's so quiet. She had this going on, etc. But just give your sponsor a shout and say, hey, this is what's going on. When Ronnie was here, we both agreed that, I would start reaching out to her because my sponsor is getting married. So she's not even thinking about the business right now. So she was like, yeah, just call me and we'll start having our accountability sessions with her. So you guys reach out to your sponsors. I got to reach out to somebody. Y'all reach out to who you need to reach out to. If your sponsor quit, just go up the next tier. Okay. But just because something didn't work the first time doesn't mean that it doesn't work. A lot of times we post on social media and we're like, I've been posting all week and ain't nobody bite. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. Okay. Remember, social media is a commercial highlight reel. Some people get more activity than others, and that's for a number of different reasons. Some people have more followers. Some people have cracked the algorithm for social media and they know when to post. Some people, and Denyana is going to tell us a little bit too about her posting, because she'll make a post and like have a bunch of people on there. And sometimes I will too. If I hit that right point of the day, my post will be like, and I'll be like, oh, good, new leads. And it could be what you're posting, the kind of pictures that you're posting and all of that stuff. And Ronnie made a really good point too on her live in the Millionaires Academy today. She was like, you want to be cognizant of what you're putting out there. What does it look like? Is it a high quality photo? And also too, she talked about makeovers. She was like, one way that you can get someone's attention on social media is making yourself over. And This doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with who you are right now, but sometimes just, sprucing yourself up a little bit. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. This is my entrepreneurial look. This is what I'm going for when as a businesswoman, because you do transform in entrepreneurship. That's going to grab people's attention. Like, oh, she's changing. What's going on with her? So, you can be changing from the inside out with this company, and as well as, posting other people's stuff. Okay. So don't get discouraged if you had a party, nobody showed up. You had a party, nobody signed up. You posted on social media, you didn't get any bites. Like, don't feel like it's not working. You just need to try again. Trust me. There are some days where I post and I talk to people and I get people that are like, oh, no, thank you. They listen to my opportunity call and they're like, oh, no, thank you. And that'll go on for days. And like we found out on the last call, that just means that was a bad batch, and that's just all that it is. You had a bad batch, move on to the next batch. Okay. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Danyana, the superstar of the hour.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Chatting.
Danyana is really, really good about staying in contact with her sponsor. Me and her talk a lot. And she keeps me updated on what's going on with her business, what she's trying to do. Should I place this person here? Like, she's rocking and rolling, but she's also, still coming to me for advice. And I'm looking at her like, girl, how did you get 2,000 in personal bonus file? I'm like, tell me that. So she's a great example of a leader. She's a great example also of someone who started and slowed down, but came back and has been fighting for her business. Like, when I say fighting for her business. And one thing that Alina said to me, she was like, the one thing with this business is, as long as you don't quit, when your moment comes and you pop, there's nothing can stop it. But the only thing that can stop it is if you quit. So even with Alina came in the same year that I did, and she went to Double Diamond, and she didn't go as far as I did, but then she came back with a vengeance 2 years later, and now she's Ambassador Diamond, like top 40, 35, I don't even know what number now. But when it's your moment, it's just your moment. And the only way you miss your moment is if you quit. So I feel like Danyana is 100% in her moment right now, and she's running and she's finding the the rhythm of her business and how to get volume. She's mastering one area so that when she moves on to the next area, she can master that. Volume is her thing right now. So she's got that. Now she's going to master getting distributors. She's going to have that. Then as a leader, she's going to master building. That's what's going to make her an Ambassador Diamond. You guys feel where I'm going with this? So let her be an example of you, of somebody that quit, came back, was discouraged, had a team quit on her, went through all the motions of the journey of It Works Global, because everybody goes through these things, but she's still here fighting, and she's top 2 personal bonus volume, what's what I'm looking for? Receiver. And also she regained her title, and she fought for that thing. And I think that that's amazing, because there are some people who don't even fight for that, and that's major. To come back and not only just reclaim my title, I'm gonna be the highest enroller, and I'm gonna get the car bonus. I mean, just ball out. Okay, but anywho, so we're gonna go ahead and let Danyana. I'm gonna do it like kind of interview style, and you can introduce yourself, of course, because a lot of people don't know who you are. I gave them a really nice overview, but you can tell them what you want them to know about you and in your journey.
Sure. So I'm super excited. As Jen kind of went through a little bit of my story, I joined in 2015, or actually, no. I relaunched in 2015. I think I joined in 2013 when I was pregnant with my son, just because I was like, okay, I need extra income. I saw Jen. I watched her for a couple months. You know how we do the inboxing thing, following up. And I was like, no. Once I saw her hit, I think it was double, then triple, back to back. I was just like, okay, I need this extra income. I did it for maybe 2 weeks, too sick, stopped. So that doesn't really to me count. So I relaunched in 2015. I went to Ruby within my first 45 days. Was boxing for Diamond. I think by the end of that month, right, Jen? And then something happened. I don't even know what happened. The team kind of just like fell apart the following month, and I was done. I literally was done. I was so discouraged, honestly. I was just like, wait, okay. I was supposed to have this bonus. Like, it just went, and everything seemed like it was working well, but it just wasn't my time. And I stayed connected in business because I was just like, okay, I know this business could work because I was able to do it, but I just didn't know what happened, and we couldn't figure it out. And I let that discourage me so much. So I want to say, first and foremost, before I start talking about the volume piece, if you get to that point when things seem like they're not working, do not quit. Okay? Do not quit. Do not also allow yourself to blame yourself for all of it, because that's what really kept me in my, I guess, down part so long, for a year. It was a year. Jen, Tia, everybody kept trying to get me out that funk, but I just honestly could not shake it. So when people join and they don't work and it's not working, right? Please don't think it's you. It took me forever to understand this. People come in and they just don't catch the vision, right? But don't quit, because had I quit, I would not be in this point right now. And this point, honestly, is just amazing. Just looking at the growth that happened and how it occurred. So fighting for my rank, as Jen said, I did go Ruby, as I said, my first 45 days, and I got stuck there, and I kind of just shut down. It took me, I relaunched, I want to say again, like really took the business back serious, like in myself, and just like, okay, this is it. Whatever happened before was done. Honestly, toward the end of February, like after conference, is when I really had it lit again. Just like, I can do this. It happened to so many people. They were talking about how many of their team members quit and how many of them stopped. Sorry, my son always sits down. And how many of them stopped. And, I'm just like, wait, so, it can't just be me. Like, it's happening to everybody. Even though people were telling me, it was just like, no, that's just you. Like, no, Tia, I understand. You just on my team, you just trying to tell me that because Jen might have told you that. No, Jen, I understand. You just trying to tell me that. But like hearing all these people that I did not know talking and really being honest, just like, no, I've lost like hundreds of people. Like, can I tell you how many I started with? Like, seriously, like, that's all you lost? And to me, losing those 20-something people, that was a lot. I was just like, yo, like, and it happened all in a matter of 1 second, baby. Go get your cousin in. Sorry, y'all. And it happened like in a matter of like 2 months. So I was just done. Okay. But let me just tell you, get over it, brush it off, and keep moving. Okay. Don't quit. Go through your funk if you have to. 2 weeks. Sorry. Okay. But mommy said, I need a moment. Just go out. I'm on a call. Please. Mommy, pick my carpet up. Sorry. With them too. So, just be in your funk for like a moment and then be done. No more than 2 weeks. No more than 2 weeks. And if you are, keep pressing and don't let it stop you. Okay. So now on to the volume piece. I was able to get my volume really quickly. I told Jen, I said, you know what? I'm ready. Like March kind of set me up with the volume. And I was like, you know what? I'm ready. I was able to get these customers. I did not reclaim my rank at the time, but I was going for it. I ended that month, I think, with 1,900, I think, in PBV and about like 2,000 something in GB because I gave away some of the customers. I signed all of them. And I was like, you know what? I can do it. Like, I just signed these 20 customers. I can do it. So April was just a go time for me. I was like, I'm reclaiming my rank and I'm going for the car bonus. Like, that was just what was in my mind. And there was nothing that was going to stop me. So
let's talk about that. So what does that look like when your mind is set on something? Like, what is your day-to-day mindset? Like when you wake up and that's your goal, how do you program your mind to believe
that? That's a good question. I think it's just like, so for me, I have like this type A personality as well. So I'm in my red season. I'm a reddish yellow. And so I think I'm in that red season right now. And so I think what really gave me the drive was seeing Keisha do it. And I had already kept saying to myself, I'm going to be there one day, signing them 20 customers. Yep, I'm going to get that car bonus. But then when Keisha did it, I was like, wait, this is somebody on our team. Somebody like, I don't know, but I interact with. And I'm like, hold up. She just, something, I was like, I'm going for it. And I've always been a person who likes a good challenge. So I was like, I'm going for this. I'm just going for it. So I just took it in my mind. I said, she did it. I'm doing it. That's it. There's nothing else to it. And I just ran with it. That was just my mindset. I just went from somebody that I like, I want to say no because I, interact with her, did it. So I'm doing it. And that was it. So I feel like once you make your mind up, stick to it. Don't waver on it. And I also prayed on it too. I prayed on it and I prayed over it. And I said, God, please send me the people that I need to help, because I need to hit it. I say, if I'm not getting diamond, the least that you can do for me is give me my title back of ruby and let me hit this car bonus. That's all I'm asking for. I don't need diamond this month. Give me my car bonus and give me ruby and I will be fine. And I prayed on it and he did it. He did it. It was all him.
I love that, because a lot of times what we don't realize is our mindset and our lack of belief in ourselves is the reason why things happen in our life, and it's the same thing for me. As soon as I stop believing that something is going to happen, I get those results. But as soon as I kick myself into high gear and I'm like, wait a minute, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going after. Thank you, Lord, for giving it to me in advance. Things start rolling in. It's all about your perspective and your mindset, really with anything that you want to obtain in life. So I love that was one of the things that changed for you, because mindset is so key. Ronnie talks about it all the time. I talk about it all the time. And for you to say that was one of the first things, that's what I want you guys to make a note of. So first and foremost, if you want to be a top enroller like Denyana, you have to change your mindset. Okay. Now talk to us about your day-to-day. What does that look like?
So first, I check in with my accountability partners. Jasmine, Vincenta, Casey, those are my accountability partners. So I check in with them. I let them know honestly too what I was going to go for at the month. And you know what? Yeah, honestly, let me go back to that really quick. They honestly came, I think, a week. And Jasmine and them are on. They can tell you, I think it was like a week or a week and a half. I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do this. I don't think this is going to happen. Because I was only at 2,000 BV. And so I was like, this is not happening. And I had 3 days left. And I'm like, this is not happening. They're like, yes, it is. Like, just stop. Go back to your original mindset. So I think checking in with them allows me to keep my goal and what I have in mind at the forefront and not get in a negative space. Like, I feel like, honestly, if it was not for them, those last 3 days, I would have been stuck in the mindset like, dang, like I made this goal. Like I for sure I was going to get it. And I would have stopped and just said, you know what, next month. But they were just like, no, like you got this, like go, like just do it. You've been doing it, do it. So checking in with them is one of my first things I do. Second, it's been honestly, when I'm following up with people, I found out the little event reminder on Facebook Messenger. I send them that now, because even though I had it on my paper place, I was leaving it everywhere because I teach. So like going and trying to carry that and everything else, it was just getting lost. I lost it like 3 times and I missed customers, and I was just like, you know what, this not going to work. So then I realized, I was like, oh, I got those event reminders when someone sent it. And I was like, oh, so now I do that with every customer. So once I get them on the phone, and if they can't order at that moment, I say, great, when is a good day to follow up with you next? And then I immediately hit them with the event. If it's 5 p.m. today, call me back later. 5 p.m., I send it to them. So now I see it and you see it. So there's no mistaking of, oh, girl, I didn't know you was on call, even though they still try and pull that. I'm like, oh, no problem. You know, it just went off in the messenger app, so it reminded me. So I remember to call you. And they're like, oh, well, now it's time. I'd be like, great. So when is another time to follow up? I'm like, I have like 7:30 open. Can I follow up with you in 2 hours? If it's, oh, I don't have my card, or oh, this, I say, oh, how's 2 hours from now for you? Or how's a half hour from now for you? You know, I do it like that, and then I send them that event reminder. The other thing that I do is I narrow down my posting, and I think that this really helped me. And I talked to one of our team members about it too, is being very strategic in what posts you're doing for that day, and just stick to those two. Because the more that they see it, the more likely they are going to want to reach out to you. So like oftentimes we try to post 3-4 different products in a day, and they're just seeing it that one time. Though it's throughout the week, they're only still seeing it at one time. And then I remember the algorithm of Facebook is really weird too, where everyone is not seeing my posts. So I was like, well, how can I get more interaction and make sure that and so that's when it dawned on me, okay, let me try this. I will only post 2 products in a day. I'm sorry, hold on, let me get my sister to take him. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So what I want you guys to do is find an accountability partner or partners. If you don't, who has accountability partners? Raise your hand. That you check in with on a day-to-day. You should get some. 9 times out of 10, they are people that are not in your downline. If they are in your downline, okay, Marlene, I see you. She was giving me all types of face. But 9 times out of 10, they may or may not be in your downline, and that's okay. My accountability partners are nowhere even, they're under Ronnie, but they're not in my downline. And it makes a difference because you guys can bounce ideas off of each other. You guys can encourage each other. It's genuine because it's not like, okay, the only reason she's talking to me is because she needs something from me. She needs me to promote. It's like, no, I really care about your well-being, and I want you to make sure that, that you hit your goals just as much as I want to hit mine. So get an accountability partner. And if you need one and you don't have one, just post in the chat one day, hey, I'm looking for an accountability partner. Partner up with somebody, and you guys can just be your push daily. And you could just be a morning check-in, a night check-in, whatever you guys decide, 2 times a week check-in, once a week check-in, whatever works for you. And make sure that you guys push each other and encourage each other and share tips with each other. So that way you all can basically hit your goals.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sorry. Thank you. Where did I leave off at? Now I forgot.
You post 2 posts.
Oh, yes. So I was doing the 2 posts, and I said, well, let me try this out because I know that, we learned that it takes somebody about 7, 8, 10 times, right, before they actually really start getting interested, right? They might see it and be like, okay, yeah, that looks good. Then like the second time, you're like, dang, like, I really want to try that. Then by the 7th time, you're like, I'm going to go ahead and inbox this girl, or I'm going to go ahead and comment. You finally get the courage to comment on it. So I said, well, let me try this because I'm posting all of this and I'm not getting the results that I wanted. So when I narrowed it down to just 2 posts and consistently showing those 2 products over the course of the 2 to 3 days, I began to get more interest. People were commenting more. People were inboxing me more. And so I was like, oh, I'm on to something. So then what I said was, okay, let me now try it to maybe 1 product and just keep showing that. So I do the 1 to 2 products. And so since I've been doing that consistently for a good 2 to 3 days, just those same products, people have been commenting on it. And then the other thing that I have done is like when I'm enrolling a customer, I go ahead and then I say only 2 spots left. I give them the countdown so that if you are interested, you're now like, oh crap, wait, she only got 2 spots. So let me go ahead and inbox her. And that helped me a ton. Every time I did that, I had to go ahead and go back and repost like, okay, I just opened 5 more spots because it'd be 1 spot. And then like 4 people will go ahead and enroll because they're like, oh, wait, I want that 1 spot. I want that one. So I would be like, okay, now due to popular demand, I'm reopening this again. And I had to do that like 4 times. So I feel like that urgency that we always talk about, like letting people know that there's a time frame, definitely comes into play when it comes with loyal customers as well. I had like 3 of those girls I spoke to maybe at 9 a.m. were like, oh, I need to call you back next week. So then when they saw that post, I had 1 spot left. All 3 of them miraculously found that money and signed up. All 3 of them found that money and they signed up. So I really feel like putting that countdown on is great. Even if you still have the same 5 spots, the next time you post, still change it so that they can see like, okay, somebody is signing up or something is happening. And I really think that changed it. The other thing that I think was really powerful in this change too was just when I talk to them on the phone, my sense of urgency. I'm a naturally fast speaker and I have to try and remember to slow down, but I feel like they sense that urgency too with how fast I'm speaking too. So I'll say, you know what? Great. So when are you looking to get started? Okay, great. First name, last name, kind of thing like that. And then what I'll do is if I get to the point and I'm on the phone with them and they're like, okay, oh, actually, I didn't know that I had to pay it right now. I'll say, okay, no problem. I have 3 more people that I'm getting ready to call and I only have this 1 spot left. So if I have it available, then you can have it. Otherwise, you have to wait till my next challenge next month. And then miraculously again, oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and move some funds from this account to that account or whatever. And they do it. So I let them know too on the phone when they talk that, oh, I need to, push it back. No problem. I have, 3 other people I'm getting ready to call. So I can't promise you that spot is going to be available. I will definitely keep you on my follow-up list. And like magic, it's worked for me. Like, oh, actually, you know what? I kind of do have it. I'm gonna just shift this over here. So letting them know that, yeah, I want this sale, but at the same time, I've got a ton of other people who want this spot too. So either you're gonna take this spot or you're gonna have to wait. And that, I think, also kind of like changed some of how I was enrolling people as well. And I kept it very positive though too. So it's just like, no problem, girl. I totally understand, but I have to move on to these people, and I can't guarantee that spot. If it's available, it's more than welcome for you to have it. But if not, see you next time.
I love that because you keep control of your business. A lot of times people assume that we're just hungry for a customer. And sometimes you are just hungry for a customer because you hadn't signed nobody in a while. But she's letting you know, like, hey, this is how many spots I have left. If you want it, come get it. If not, I'm moving on to the next person and you may miss out. That lets them know, okay, she has a hot product. Everybody wants it. Let me get mine while the getting is hot. Okay? So I love, 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 love that. Now let's talk about those last 2 days, those 48 hours, when you came to me, it was like that you about to get this car bonus and you was about to get your volume. Because I was like, she told me she was going to do it. And y'all know I'm a faith girl. So I was like, okay, do it. I was in total agreement. Like I was in agreement. I didn't doubt it, but I didn't want to watch it happen. I was just like, okay. And she kept coming back. Okay, I only need 500. What was it? I think it was like 800 at one point. Okay, I only need like 200. I only need like 300. And then when she found out that she was only 300 away from catching up with Keisha, she was like, oh, I'm about to get that done too. Mind you, she done got the car bonus, y'all. Hit her goal. And now she had a new goal because now she wanted to be number one. And it's all healthy competition, but she made it happen. So let's talk about what that looked like when in those 48 hours. What did you do?
What did I do? Oh, I went back and I followed up with every person, which was like somewhat of a nightmare. I have to get a better organization system for this. But every person that I wanted that showed any interest at all in the business from March 1st until April 29th, I would do all of those messages. And I said, hey, girl, I know you were interested in, the cleanse, for instance. I have 2 spots left. Would you be interested in claiming one? And it will be, the conversation would then start over, having explained it. But I'd be like, okay, great. I can save you 36. I can give you this for $36 instead of $60 if you sign up right now. And they're like, oh, for real? Forgetting that we done had that conversation already in the beginning. So, yeah, girl, yes, this is a special right now. And then sign them up. So I just inboxed and followed up with every single person. It was literally, honestly, no lie, over 200 people in like 3 hours. I was just going. And I felt like just letting them know, like, I have these 2 spots left and I'd like for you to claim it, I think also added something to it. And it's like, hey, I'm hanging out. Sorry, okay. I just signed her up. Okay. That made me lose contact. Oh, yeah. So just letting them know that, hey, following up, I was thinking about you and I have this open. Would you like to claim this spot? And I did that with those people. As exhausting as it was, I was determined to get that volume. And so I just did it. I sat down, my mom, my kids, everybody was like upset with me, but it was worth it. Those, like 3 hours, it was worth it. My son that y'all seeing here, he was living. He was screaming in the background. I'm still on the phone like, sorry, you know what? I have my son here. I'm so sorry you're hearing this noise. And they're like, oh, I understand. I got kids. I'm like, I'm so glad you do. I'm so sorry. But let me continue to get them digits. Like, do you want me to call you back? What's that information? Give it to me. Get you some kind of thing. So just being diligent and making sure that you keep a list. Or if you're messaging, right? Messenger is my best friend. Even if I'm going to call them, I'm finding that this is just best for me because it's keeping everyone in line so I can just go through and see who I talk to and follow up with them.
So extreme follow-up from the list that you have been building from posting on social media. 100% social media.
100% social media.
And Diana is somebody who would come to me and be like, my Instagram's not working. I ain't really got no followers.
I did not.
Instagram just wasn't her lane. It just wasn't what was working for her. And she found that Facebook Was her lane. And now, do you have a whole bunch of followers on Facebook?
I've added a lot of new followers, yes, on Facebook. And how I've done that was, how did I do it? I have to determine how I actually did it, Jen.
Okay.
Because, one of them came from a post that I asked my friend to share for me. And I just added all her friends. So I just went in and started adding all her friends. Then when somebody commented, I added all their friends. And I just kept doing that.
That's good, because that's what we want to do. We want to go to our friends and get their friends and get their friends and get their friends, because that's what network marketing is about. I tell my friends about this. They tell their friends about it. They tell their friends, and everybody keeps telling their friends until everybody's friend is on Diamond Academy.
Yep.
Okay? That's how we want that to work. So I hope that you guys, I'm glad that we did this in the beginning of the month, and I hope everyone took really, really good notes, because this is the kind of stuff that you need to seal your promotion at the end of the month, especially when you're going diamond. And now for some of you, if you joined in February, this is your last month to go diamond. Last month to go diamond. Well, let me not say that. It's not your last month to go diamond. It's your last month to go diamond and get the bonus. Okay? So even if you feel like, okay, I don't really have a team, I haven't really been able to sign anybody, guess what? You can absolutely, positively still go diamond this month. You can do it. You can do it. You're a Ruby, if you're an executive, you can go from executive to diamond. You can go from Ruby to diamond. If you're Emerald, you better go Emerald to diamond. And some of you are already fully charted for diamond, and there's not a shadow of doubt in my mind that you're going to make it happen this month. And you might even do it sooner now, because you have this strategy in order to get your customers. Okay? So it does, Deviana, would you agree and say that it does take actual work? Like, these people didn't just fall in your lap. You actually had to work your business, right?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Like I said, that 3 hours was gruesome. It really was, going through there and like trying to find all these people and having, half of them say no, and just like, okay, and keep pushing. But at the end of the day, I hit my goal, and so it was worth it. So like during that time, you're sitting there, you're like, oh my God, okay, no. You're like, golly. And then finally you start getting some yes. Then it goes back to no, sitting here. But at the end, once it's all done and you see how you met your goal, you're like, okay, I'm ready to do this again. Like today, I sat here, I followed up with, I believe it was only 25 people today, but my son is sick. We stay home. But I signed one team member, and then I have like 4 people that I'm supposed to follow up with. Hopefully this girl that just messaged me while warning him, get ready to sign her as a customer. But they all said, no, not now. And so my response is, because I just saw what Periel asked, when they say that they still don't have it in follow-up Friday, I just put them onto the Friday calendar, right? I don't want to seem pushy at all, because the worst thing you want is to have a pushy salesperson to you. Because that turns them off, I feel like. So I just say, okay, no problem, girl. I got you on here for Friday. I'm going to call you at this time. Do you have any last minute questions? And, then I get off, and then I follow up with them on Friday. And usually they do sign. I try to send a message before I call them too, just to say, hey, girl, are we still getting you started today? I'm super excited. Just so I can see if they're going to respond. And if they don't respond, I still just give them a call anyway. Justin, 1 second, baby. I still just give them a call anyway, because they may not be near their messenger or near their phone at the time or hear it. So I just do a courtesy to let them know this is what's happening. And so also I can know before I call too. Sometimes they'll say, oh no, or I need to change my time. And then that just lets me know like who I need to follow up with and whether or not I'm going to have that volume.
I love it. I love it. And I hope that you guys really took really good notes on that. Of course, you could always go back to the replay, but I think that was a lot of good, healthy meat and practical stuff that we can use to build our business, as far as especially, focusing on those 2 products for a couple days, focusing on 2 posts, not putting as many. I've been doing that too, because I'm watching the algorithm and I'm like, okay, posts, inspiration, regular life, let me put a different kind of rhythm in things, even especially on my Instagram. I'm posting less on my Instagram. My content is better. So it's giving me a better return on what I'm putting out there versus just posting 1,000 things and not getting anything. So I think that was very meaty. I thank you for sharing with us, Danyana. It's always a pleasure. I'm sure everyone on here is grateful for all your tips and your tools and your strategy. And she's going to go diamond this month, guys. So you just wait for it to happen. It's just going to happen. Like, she's putting her mind to it, and it's going to happen. And another powerful thing that she said she said, my son is sick today, but I still did 25 follow-ups, and I signed a distributor. So you see how when you have a list, even when you have your children, and it's like, okay, my child is my priority because God, family, business. You know what I'm saying? But I still got this amount of work done, and I got a distributor. Every day my goal is to get either a distributor or a loyal customer, and she got one of them. So that's a win for the day, especially on a day where some people, they're like, oh, I'm sick, my kid's sick, this sick. They use that as an excuse not to work her business. She still made it happen. Okay, so make note of that as well. Now we're going to hear from our amazing, hilarious presidential diamond, Latia Powell. And I say hilarious because if y'all have been watching her lives on Facebook, she has been just being her natural self. And I'm sure Tia has some powerful things to share with us. So Tia, the floor is yours, dear. Latia?
Hey, hold on. I'm trying to find. It's a lot of background noise.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Jen, you got to unmute yourself when you are done because I just muted everyone. Hi, everyone. So, yes, I am funny. That's just, I'm doing it on purpose. So today I started my journey of weight loss, and I'm going to do it live and in living color. I'm going to shrink on TV. I'm going to let everybody know what I'm doing on a daily basis. And it's crazy how I had some messages that said, Tia, watching your live today was like watching a sitcom. And I don't even mean for it to be that way, but people, you have to remember, people want to be entertained. So I was watching something the other day. I was watching how to bake water. Did y'all see that video, how to bake water? How many of y'all actually watched it?
I did.
How to make ice? Y'all watched that? How to cook air? Y'all watched? Exactly. Why? Because it's entertaining and it's stupid. And not only did we watch it, but I had to make sure that 3 other people watched it with me. So remember that when you're posting and when you're doing your live videos, people like to be entertained. So come alive. So a few things. For those of you that are heavy enrollers, you're good at signing loyal customers and you're good at signing distributors, I want you to start doing something that will be very helpful to the team. I'm making these texting stories. So I just put one in the group about stretch mark cream, basically how I close someone with stretch mark cream. It was 1.5 minutes long, has 2 pictures in it, and it has all the information. So because why people aren't closing is because they don't know the conversation. And so let's teach our team the conversation. What do you say? How do you say it? We would love for everyone to do 3 ways, but you know, that's just not going to always happen. I was talking to one of my accountability partners a few minutes ago before training started, and she was like, yeah, I just signed 400 in volume today. And I was like, how in the world you signed 400 in volume today? So I want you to know that people are out here doing these types of things in this real life. So I want you to set a serious goal. Set a goal. So if you're trying to go diamond, you're trying to go emerald, you're trying to go ruby, things like that, you're not going to sign 4 customers and promote. Okay? So let's just be real about that. Unless you sign in 4 customers that get like 150, 200 in volume. Let's just be real about it. So 4 customers is great, but it's great if everybody does it. So everybody on your team may not do it. So how can you help? because you still got to go. One thing that Ashley said last week, she said, if you have over half your team working, you're doing really good. Fill in the boxes. Okay, so let's do that. So get those people. I'm going to set myself a goal. Today's Monday. Today was kind of like admin day. And I did my videos, but tomorrow my goal is to sign 400 in volume by the end of the week. One of my friends signs at least 2,500 in volume every month. That's kind of the goal she sets for herself. So I want you to know that big numbers are out here, and we want to make it the rule for us to have big numbers. So take everything that Denyana just told us, and know that we want to make that our reality on a daily basis. So if you are good at signing distributors, if you are someone that signs a distributor in a text message or an inbox, please post a conversation. If you show how you get them on the phone, show your process. That's what people need to see, your process. Because one thing that makes me a heavy enroller is that I'm personable. So sometimes people need to know, how are you personable? Being personable is not hard once you get over yourself. Once you are okay with how people respond, whether it's gonna work whether you like their response or not, you don't change how personable you are. And so everything is always a relationship. And how are you doing? Hey, honey, how are you doing? And, all of these things, just to make people feel comfortable. You want people to relate to you and to feel comfortable talking to you. And that there's an art to that. It's not just A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Your voice is monotone. You have to make sure people feel invited in your conversation. So work on being personable also. So I wanted to talk about the texting stories. I want to talk about being personable. And also, I asked a question yesterday, where are you on someone's chart? So that's something that you need to know. Where are you on someone's chart? Because once you know where you are on someone's chart, you can share the responsibility to know that something is not going to happen without you.
Yeah.
And the question is, some of you are okay and some of you are not. Are you okay with something happening without you? Do you want to be a part of a whole? Do you want to be a part of a win? So for those of you that are brand new, most likely you are on someone's Ruby chart. That means you have the auspicious opportunity to help someone to make an average $400 to $500 extra a month. That's super cool. Why is that super cool? Because next month that'll be you, but this month is your turn to help someone else. So by you doing the basics, following your steps to success, hitting your volume goals, you will help someone else become Ruby. For those of you that are supposed to go Ruby, you are probably on someone's Emerald chart. That means when you galvanize your team, you make sure everyone knows their goals. Someone else gets to make an average $800 a month because you did your part. If you are going Emerald this month, most likely you are on someone's Diamond chart. That means someone is going to make an average of about $1,900 a month because you did something simple like sign 4 customers. Can you imagine that just by you signing 4 customers and running your auto ship, you help somebody else make $2,000 a month? That should make you feel cool. That should make you feel like you are a part of something amazing. Because if you can do that, pretty soon it'll be your turn. And you will have a team of people that will need to do something basic like sign 4 customers, like sign their distributors, like go Ruby, so that you can make an average of about $2,000 a month. For those of you that are set for Diamond and going Diamond, did you know that you are on someone's double Diamond chart? So when you get to numbers like Diamond, double Diamond, now you're talking about an extra income that can make radical changes in people's lives. When you're talking about people bringing home an extra $2,000 a month, and let's just face it, most of the people on our team still work. So you're talking about people who have jobs, people, and then they're bringing home an extra $2,000 a month. Just think about somebody else for a second and what that will do for their family. So all of you people, before we go, I want you to say, what will an extra $2,000 a month do for your family the next month? Tell us. If you're Emerald, or you're set for Emerald, or you're set for Diamond, tell us what that would do, because people need to know what they are a part of. So everyone on this Zoom is a part of somebody's chart. Everybody is a part of somebody's chart. And the reason I'm asking you to do this is because this is going to lead to my next point, which is telling stories. So Shonda, when you say pay all your home bills, what do you mean? So we want to get good at telling stories. So Alexa says not having to put your daughter in daycare. What does that mean for you? So stories sell. Stories sell. I want you to know, why is country music so popular? It's because it tells a story. A preacher can preach a whole message, but he'll end it with a story, and the whole room will go quiet, and you can feel the attentiveness in the room because people love stories. So get good at telling stories. Paying your son's therapy. What does that mean? Being able to continue to stay home for her. Why is that important to you? Pay off student loans. Well, what does that mean? That's not a big deal. Everybody has bills. Be more specific. You don't have to do it here, but I want you to start take nice pictures of yourself. Use pictures. Guys, I'm set for Diamond this month, and I'm so excited. My family works so hard, but to be able to make an extra $2,000 a month means that I will not have to put my daughter in daycare. It is so important that I be able to stay home and watch her grow up. I don't want to miss any moment. You got to pull at people's heartstrings. That's what the stories do. Patrice is really good at stories. So find someone that's really, really good at stories. So you got to get really, really good at telling your story. You don't have to always sound like you're broke, busted, and disgusted and you're the bottom of the barrel. You don't have to do that. But if this business has the potential to do something radical for your life, don't be afraid to share it. And stop working my second job. I'm burned out. I've been doing it for 2 years. That's now we're getting somewhere. What would life be like for you if you could stop working a second job after 2 years? That's a great post. Do you know how many people have a second job and they hate it? Yep. All of that brings you into community, feeling accepted, love. I'm telling y'all guys, this is important. Alexis posted something today. She was like, if you're a single mom, post your story below. And because it brings out it brings out the reality of what this business does. The numbers are good, the money's good, but when it gives people options and freedom, there's something about that you can't buy. You can't buy options and freedom. And that is really what we're giving people. Options and freedom. So remember options and freedom when you're creating your story posts. All of my stories are going to talk about people having options and having freedom, because that's what this business gives you. It doesn't mean that you have to come off your job. Everybody's not going to come off their job, and everyone doesn't want to, but you have options. You have freedom. What does freedom look like for you? It looks different for everyone else. So if you want to start signing more distributors, start posting and communicating options and freedom to people, because people really feel trapped in their everyday lives. That's what the girl just said. She's working a second job and she's burned out. There are so many people like that out here. And those are the people that you want, because the moment those types of people get on your team and they see that they can have options and they can have freedom, they'll work like a crazy person. Because you're telling me if I can earn an extra $1,000 a month, I can have my weekends back? All I have to do is go Emerald? Oh, that's done. Options and freedom. Texting stories, tomorrow at 8:00 is the call for single moms. Tomorrow at 8:00, make sure you are sharing that post. If you're not a single mom, you can just use that. You can use that post. If you are a single mom, I suggest you put your picture of you and your family on top of that number at the bottom, or put the number at the bottom of your own picture and share it. Start telling your story all day long. Share your struggles. Share how this business has given you, what his business has given you being a single mom. Share it, share it, share it. Talk to people, build relationships, and get them on the call tomorrow night. Like, this call should have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on it. That's how big it should be. And on Thursday, I'm doing another call called Wife, Mom, Boss. So it's another thing. And next week I'm going to do one, Burned Out for Corporate America. There's another one about this is a lot. I'm gonna do a call every 2 weeks. I'm sorry, twice a week, because we're gonna start targeting, and I'm gonna do teachers, and I'm gonna have guests on there. So it's not just me, because I don't have any kids, so I'm gonna be just interviewing the people this week. So tomorrow is single moms, Thursday is wife, mom, boss, and that's it for me.
You know, the thing that I love about that is because with all these different calls, I know Tia is going to record them, but then what'll happen is when you meet these different people, now we have an option of calls to send them. So if you meet a teacher, send them the teacher call. If you meet a single mom, send her the single mom call. That way they have different options for them to hear the perspective that they need. Do one for college students. Do we have any college students on our team?
If we do, I'm not aware of them.
If you're on here, let me know. If not, we can still do one nonetheless, but it would be nice if we could get, oh yeah, Fab, you are. So we got Fabiola. She just went Ruby last month, 2 months in the business, and she is Ruby. So yeah, we got Fab.
Okay.
Ooh, Autumn, are you in school too? Oh, and Farrah. Okay, so we have a couple people.
Okay.
Perfect. That I'm a student. Okay. So I love that. Just make sure we get people on the calls and all of that good stuff. So today in my quiet time, and I'm gonna close with this really quickly. I was in Genesis 12, and you know that's Abraham when he left, went, did all of that good stuff. For those of you that know the story, you know how the story goes. But the part of the story that that I thought of you guys was, and thought of myself too, because this happens for me, is I think it was 12:10, and it was basically saying don't question God in the famine. Basically, like what happened was Abraham was told to do this. When he got there, there was a famine, and he was like, what in the world? And then he tried to do it his own way in order to get what he wanted, and it ended up being a mess. Okay. And this is the completely refined version that I'm giving you. But the thing that stuck out to me is that so many of us, we know that this is something we prayed for. We know that this is something that God gave us. And what happens is when things don't start going the way that we expect them to, we feel like, okay, this is a famine. This isn't working. Let me try something else. Or let me quit. Or let me try to make it be like this. You know, I want you guys to really start just believing like, okay, even if I don't see the sprouts right now, the manifestation is still coming. God's promise still it doesn't change based off of what you see. So if you know that this is something that God brought you into, you know that this is your ticket to freedom, and this is not for everybody. Some of you are rocking and rolling and you're ready to go. But for those of you that feel like, you know, that you're in a famine season, you might have been in the business for a while and you're feeling like, you know, I'm about to give up. I'm not getting distributors. I'm not getting loyal customers. Do not steer away from what God has promised you. I can't tell you what God has told you personally, but you know what God has told you personally concerning your own business. Do not steer away from it, because if you do, you'll miss out on the harvest season that you're going to get from this business. Just like Deanna could have quit a long time ago, y'all. Like, and for, I'm not going to say valid reasons, but for reasons that I've seen other people give up. And there are a couple of you on here that could have quit for other reasons too. But because she didn't get caught up in that season where she saw the famine in her business, now she's seeing the promise come to her in her business. So I just want you guys to keep your mind on what it is that you know is going to happen because God stamped his approval on it, okay? And that was encouraging for me too because I am still not Ambassador Diamond, okay? This chart is still behind me and it is not accomplished yet. And I think I put on there, I put to be fully charted by April and for it to manifest in May. Now, we can still manifest in May because I believe. However, April was not the best month for me. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't the best month for me. And I could have got discouraged and said, you know what? It's just not going to happen. It's going to be another year. I ain't going ambassador. Why don't you just, pull the plug on it for this year and just stay at presidential and just, enjoy good volume. But I had to remind myself, because you have to renew your mind daily, which is why personal development is so key. I had to renew my mind and remind myself that I can't question God's promise in the famine. I can't question what he already said he was going to give me in a situation that doesn't look like what he said. Okay. So stay focused, hold on to the promise, renew your mind daily with something positive, and your mindset is going to shift your entire life and your entire business. That's all I got. Love you guys. Thank you for hopping on. It's always a pleasure to do business and do life with you guys. If you have any questions, as always, post them in the chat, post them, contact your sponsor. And the main thing I want you guys to do this week is contact your sponsor. For those of you that don't speak to your sponsor, if you speak to them, cool. But contact your sponsor, okay? All right, guys. Have a good night.